From wherever we are, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, recognising their continuing connection to this land, its waterways, the stars in the skies since time immemorial. We pay our respects to the elders, knowledge holders, and to all the generations of First Nations peoples who have nurtured their unceded sovereign lands for over 80,000 years and continue to do so today.
G'day, I'm your host Charlie Arnott, an 8th generational Australian regenerative farmer. And in this podcast series, I'll be diving deep and exploring my guests' unique perspectives on the world so you can apply their experience and knowledge to cultivate your own transition to a more regenerative way of life.
Welcome to the Regenerative Journey with your host Charlie Arnott.
Chris Eggert, welcome to the Regenerative Journey and welcome to Grounded here in Tassie at Fat Pig Farm. It's mid-afternoon on the first day.
Yep.
Chris, welcome. Tell me, have you got any sort of favourites you've listened to this morning that you really got you love hearing?
Yeah, definitely like the Haggertys, probably from Western Australia. Is it Haggertys? Yeah, from Western Australia.
Diane.
Their story and listen to their son talk, that was really cool. Like, yeah, sort of resonated a bit with our journey, I suppose. Yeah, that was really good. Wolkey, it's really good too. Jake Wolkey, he's like real business sort of focused. Like, sort of probably need to be a bit more like that, maybe, or definitely.
In what way?
Would help. Like, he's more business focused, and into his profit margins and that sort of thing, and yeah, definitely, yeah.
Which I think that's a good thing, because there's a lot of people looking for evidence of all this bloody crazy different types of farming. It's like,
yeah. I guess it's like probably it's like I find it a great lifestyle and all that sort of thing. And I was doing a podcast for Soars for Life, is that? A few weeks ago, and they said, well, how is it like economically or whatever? And I said, look, we've paid our debts and we've been buying farms, we're still buying farms, and got like 3 like awesome kids, and I'm probably as happy as I've ever been, so I really enjoy what I'm doing, so I guess that's enough at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, you got wealth, right? Wealth doesn't have to be just financial.
That's the wealth. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, feeling pretty fit, and feel like working every day, and I'm enjoying everything, like what my kids are doing, what my wife's doing with her, what she's doing on the farm and all that as well, and all the, we got a couple, we've got a really fantastic employee, and we've got a few like casuals, and my son and his mate are working for us, and all that. That's just, like, it's really good. Like, they come home and have a big feed at lunchtime, and they're cooking up steaks and chops and snags, and we're having a yarn about the farm and what we're doing and all that. That's wealth to me. That's terrific.
It's cultural wealth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mate, and you spoke in the People tent not long ago, and that was really about, the paddock between your ears, and that sometimes being the hardest sort of paddock to work. Yeah. Tell me, essentially sort of mental health and how you've coped. We spoke some years ago on the Regenerative Journey interview. What's changed since then, do you think, in terms of your mental clarity or your kind of the way you cope, or you mentioned before about how you're essentially a bit more in touch with that sort of
the farm.
The farm?
Probably.
Tell us about that.
Just feel more probably like engaged with the farm, I suppose, with the soil and life and all that, and you sort of like feel it, I guess. And and watching the kids like become more like interested in it now, and that sort of thing's pretty good. And it's just still improving. Like, and I think it's like infinite, really. Like, it's an infinite, like how good it could be is infinite. Like, you see all the different stuff going on here and what people are doing. There's just so many opportunities, like for farming, like if you're producing good food that can help people's health, like that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway, isn't it? Like that's actually good to put in your mouth. Like there's just so much land, like everywhere, like not being utilised, like, and we just need people like to get on a farm and have a crack and, you know, use some of these methods that the people have been talking about today with regeneration, and it'll be all right. Like that's, if we can just focus on the environment that's around us, that's what I'm appreciating now. Look, it's just that environment around us, like the health of the cows and that sort of thing, and eating the food from our own farm, and especially what Jimmy's doing with his milk and yogurt. Like his yogurt is just like, I say to him, it's my new favourite food. Like it's just so good. Like, and you can eat it and just, you can work all day. Like, and you don't feel like eating again, you know, like it's or drink it or eat it, whatever you want to do. Like it's so good. So yeah, it's just like more of appreciation of the people on the farm, and it's still growing and evolving, I guess. And
do you think you feeling more intuitive? Is that maybe something that's developing or developing?
More intuitive, probably just like a bit more confident too, like and like trusting your gut instincts and that sort of thing. Like when if I'm planting seed or something like that, I might just like put some random seeds in with it, or I might just look at a paddock and go, you know what, I'm going to cut that, bale it for mulch or bale it for hay, and I'm going to drill this crop in it, or I'm going to wait 2 weeks and then I'm going to do it. You know, I'm going to let it grow a little bit and let a few little white roots get down there and a bit more sugars, and then I'll pump some seed into the ground. Or, you know, I might get all the calves together and the beef cows and the dry cows and put them all together and then put them in there and let them do it, or whatever, you know, like it's just experimenting, but with the confidence that, you know, or that's not going to cost too much, or so like I'm not I've never been like really afraid to fail at stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I suppose, the confidence comes because you're not afraid to fail. Is that weird?
That's gold.
That's what I think.
Trademark
like,
that one.
As you get like into it more, if like failing with your like something on a farm, you just, you know you're going to learn something from it.
And I guess if you do it like incrementally, you know, like do small bits of it and just test it and experiment.
That's right.
Yeah, like without going, like, I'm going to do all of this all over the whole place and do something crazy.
And that's what's like with Jimmy's dairy, you know, we just started off with 8 cows. We didn't say, right, we're just going to drop our milk contract and we're going to go and bottle our own milk. We're going to build $1 million bloody processing plant and all that sort of stuff. Like we learnt first, like about the safe food stuff and, you know, what the processes are like, just like, you know, getting a date gun and dating the product and making sure the cool room's working properly and, how are we going to deliver it? When are you going to deliver it? What are you going to charge? All that sort of stuff started back then, but like the same thing, like we just did it. Jimmy just came home one afternoon and made a label for his milk. He didn't get an advisor. Or he didn't make sure it was perfect. He just take a photo.
What's he called? What's the name?
Well, it's called Hastings Riverlands, but everyone knows it as Jimmy's Milk.
Jimmy's Milk, yeah.
And like I say, I was delivering with Jimmy. I haven't done any deliveries for a while, but like this time last year, because he had no employees or anything, it was just me and my mum and dad and Ian and him doing delivery. And sometimes like I looked at him and thought, no way you're driving. Like he's just dog tired, you know, from the work. Getting up early, late nights, and then he's got to drive 2 hours or whatever. So I'd go with him, but like you go to a house and there'd be kids out there like playing basketball or something. They'd be, oh, there's Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like they come running over and all that sort of stuff.
Jimmy's Milk.
Hey, Jimmy. Or whatever. There's Jimmy's Milk. I love your milk, Jimmy. All that sort of stuff. But like getting back to like, making mistakes in that, like you can make them with 8 cows. And like we didn't spend much on infrastructure in that milk factory. It was an old dairy. We did it up a bit. It's a 6 walkthrough. It still is. And it's fine. Like people say, oh, it's not very modern. Right. Still milks the cows the same. And it's still getting quality out of them. We put in a variable speed pump, which like pumps the milk real slow into the pasteuriser.
So that's sort of a bit more gentle and what?
It's not smashing the proteins and the fats up.
More,
It's making it more sort of wholesome, I suppose, like a proper food.
Yep.
And then we don't pasteurise it. We have to, by law, or Jimmy does, up to 65 degrees, 65.1 for 10 minutes, I think. And then we like cool it down and bottle it. And sometimes that milk's in those shops that afternoon. Like it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So, but we learned from those 8 cows. You know what I mean? And then he's gone to 13 cows, and then 18 cows, and then 20 cows. So, and because it's just not as much, we haven't spent a heap on infrastructure. If he gets sick of it, like he's 20 years old, like we'll be realistic. Like if he gets sick of it, like it's probably at the size where if he left, or we could probably still manage it for him or something like that. But it's his business. Or he could just shut it down. The only people that'd be disappointed is his customers, which I shouldn't say only because they're so important. Do you know what I mean? And they're the people that buy his milk that really care.
Yeah.
They're not just talking the talk. They're walking the walk. And some of them are like, they get 10, 12 litres a week for their family, like in 1 litre glass bottles, you know, and they're paying $50, $60 a week. They like sending them bottles back clean as a whistle. He's still got to wash them and all that.
Yeah, mate, that's cheap for the health they're getting, though. You know, like we just don't appreciate the value in healthy food, do we? I don't think. You know, I mean, some people who are buying the product, they do, and they're happy to.
I was going to tell you a funny story. I was going to say it in the tent, but I thought
You're safe here. No one's going to.
So there's a cafe in Warhope that's always bought his milk. Like you've got to ask for it. But I haven't gone whole hog on it yet. There's a couple of cafes in the area that just use his milk now because it makes the coffee and that so much better, see. But anyway, I was talking about these tradies one morning on my way back from milking his cows back home to milk my cows. I went in and got a coffee, Jimmy's milk, and I come out and this fella says to me like he's a truck driver, tradie type thing, and he goes, "Hey, farmer, that milk of your young fellas?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I've been drinking it." And I was like, "Oh, fair dinkum nights, really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't need a shit after I have a coffee anymore." So that's
medically proven to be better for you.
That's like I mean, we've got all these like wonderful speakers that have done studies all around the world. I was going to pipe up and say that this morning. I thought, it's a bit early. No one's had a beer yet.
But you're going to do. You and Jimmy are doing something this afternoon. Just drop it in. Oh, that'll bring the house down. Yeah, it'll be no classic. But I mean, putting the funny part aside, that's actually really interesting, isn't it?
Well, it's true.
And
then like the other boys are going, they were sitting there having their coffee, solving the problems of the world at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, because that's a new thing to do. Like for tradies and that, they'll go but it's good. Like
have a latte at the cafe.
But I think that's like good for their health. I've been looking at their mental health too. Like they can have an unwind, and it's better than going to the pub probably and having 6 schooners. But like they said, yeah, his milk's really good. How's your young fella going? Oh, it's so good what he's doing, and that's really good. Do you know what I mean? Like I think like I got asked that question about what the community think, and I think I should have said that. Since Jimmy's done his thing, they're really supportive, amazing, and the people like he's got working for him. Like there's people like that packed eggs for us for 3 years. Like this lady, she must be mid-50s, going at their bottle of milk, and she loves it.
But you know what?
And she delivers the milk and all that. So good.
But, mate, I've got to pump your tyres up here for a minute, you and Jimmy and the family. Like, you guys have got a really good reputation. You've been doing this stuff for 20 years. You've been organic for 20 years, right? 25 years.
Yeah.
So people know what you're doing. You're very humble. You're very good at what you do. You're very generous with your sharing of information, like today and every other time you've done podcasts and things. And I know people come out and visit your farm and so on. So I'm not surprised that they are very behind, not just because the product's very good, but your family, which says a lot about you guys, but it says a lot about the community that you help support. And again, not just through food to nourish them, but through your culture and your contribution in that way. Like that's a really generous thing to do, because I reckon there's a lot of people out there who have a good product, they don't really give a shit about the customers. Not as much. But you guys, you do the whole thing. You got a good story.
Yeah,
and you really care about your customers.
We do, and it's with the Jimmy's thing and having the meat and the eggs, it's been good, like meeting people. Like I said, you meet people who are a bit like-minded or not so like-minded. It's all healthy, like with different opinions. They come to the farm and have a chat. Like sometimes you might chat to someone for 15 minutes. Sometimes I just might be walking out to jump on the quad bike or whatever to go and do something and just say good day, and they're not offended. I haven't stopped and talked to them for a while, or I might be, oh yeah, how you going, and on for a chat, and they're not. Like, it doesn't matter, but like the next week, yeah, you'll probably have a chat or something like that, you know.
Well, I understand the working farm, mate. You know, you're not there.
Well, it is, and we don't go crazy making it all bloody beautiful and all that. You know, it's in the product.
And that's
doesn't matter what's going on around it. Yeah. Is the product fucking good? And is it good for you? Yeah. Come get it. There it is. Like, we got a shop there now. So beef, pork, chicken, like bacon, snags, all that, preservative-free, nitrate-free, eggs and milk. Like a protein, I'm sure we could do more with it if we with at the moment in our stage. Like that's what it is.
And that's all under Oxhill Organics brand, like
not Jimmy's milk.
No, not Jimmy's, but the eggs and the at your shop front, though. Yeah, at Warhope there.
But we're finding now our eggs and meat is following his milk.
Yeah, nice.
And like originally, his milk followed our eggs, so they went to the shots where our eggs were. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone complains about the chooks and all that a bit at home. It's only a negative thing. But really, they've taught us so much. Like having that chicken business, having those organic eggs, and that's taught us a lot, like about retail and work and that, I suppose.
But there's
like where the milk, stuck it on a tanker and it went.
Yeah, a lot of work in eggs, I imagine. We got our own just for ourselves, of course. But I mean, it makes me think. Some businesses have like a loss leader. It's the well-known product that actually doesn't make them a lot of money, but it sort of like paves the way for the other products to sort of be sold under in its wake, sort of thing. So it just adds to the profile of the nutrition that you're supplying people, which is awesome. Mate, you were talking about mental health.
I'm going to go into that thing in a minute.
Are you doing? Well, what's time?
I don't know. You got your phone?
Oh,
funny.
My phone's on there. Hey?
Is it on there?
It is, but that's the 16. Oh, actually, you better get ready, mate. Awesome.
It's 3 o'clock. Sorry.
No, you better go.